I spoke with Dave Bartlett yesterday about a program of hiring sheriff's deputies to patrol the Taconic State Parkway and maybe other roads that citizens are complaining that the speed is unbearable. We had an email recently from someone off of Bunker Hill Road and County Route 32. And the application was denied by DOT to reduce that speed limit. So what are our alternatives? Since the town needs revenue, we can actually hire deputy sheriffs, and he sent me a schedule. David sent me a schedule that we can hire a deputy for $46.33 an hour, or a sergeant at $51.66 per hour, plus 54 cents per mile. I've told in the past that, in fact, Jason, I think, emailed us all today, Judge Jason Sherlock, that this was a program that was instituted years ago. I don't know why it didn't stay in place, but if that's a source of revenue for us, that's what I'm looking for.
Well, it's a source of revenue. I would also hope that it does something to
save people's lives.
To save people's lives. I sort of have a little difficulty with something that, like that, is to me something like that purely as a source of revenue, but I certainly know that enforcing speed limits and traffic laws does save lives.
It's the Rent a Deputy program. It is designed to be law enforcement. It's not strictly for tickets. It's a life safety.
Yeah.
So part of their hours could be dedicated towards the parkway or high areas of traffic and speeding.
Yeah.
And the parkway is definitely known for that. I mean, it's towns up and down the parkway love the parkway, the revenue.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you get letters and things that we receive complaints from people too. So, but the rental program is a good program.
So I'd like to make a motion that we employ the enhanced enforcement patrols.
Just one question, who decides whether these people are, whether deputy sheriffs or the sergeants are actually patrolling, in terms of whether they would be on 32, down by...
I haven't found that out yet. I'm sure if we had, situations where people wanted extra patrol.
Well, I think of that, and I think of other areas where people have complained in the last couple of years about...
If I remember how the program worked in previous areas, the rented deputy is strictly on those hours within the town of Chatham's area. And if we have complaints of high areas, the supervisor then would go to the sheriff and say, I have a lot of complaints on this area, can we have our rented deputy sort of patrol that area higher, rather than regular deputies, so we have resident deputies plus deputies on the road. This would just highlight areas that we're getting complaints on. Is that what when you spoke to Dave, is that pretty much what he explained to you?
Anybody want a second so we can speak to it? No, we'd like discussion. Do we know how much time is it based on what we pay them? So, because I'm not
If
looking.
we ask for 10 hours a week,
Right.
I'm not going to get into the whole program.
Right, I look at it probably like 8 hours when I saw the figures. I said, well, it's probably about $300 a day with mileage. And when you add it, it's roughly about $300 a day. And I asked Judge Shaw in the email exchange, he said, what's our average fines? But for traffic violations, about 125, just on the average. So, in that respect, I'm quite certain that in an 8-hour shift, that a deputy could find the revenue. I think we're pretty safe there. The only problem is we have to pay probably up front, and by the time the revenue comes in through the court system, there'll be a lag time there. But eventually, the money will come in, and if it's, let's say it's just 5 traffic tickets. Well, then we're in the plus. And that can go forward to the next week. But if it's five traffic tickets every week, or 5 tickets of whatever, yeah, that could be, so. And this is one of the situations where I think spending money makes sense. We just have to be mindful of the lag time. Can we get out of this at any time?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
I don't think we have to sign a contract to say that.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
All right, so we have a discussion. Any other, we have motion and discussion, any other discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Me. I just don't think we should be hiring a deputy to go out there and make money for the town.
No, that's understandable.
Thank you.
Just-
There guarantee it's going to be enough money to cover it, really.
I just
Why
have
is
I have an issue with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from, but the fact that it also helps,
I know what it
Yeah,
helps.
I
I
know.
also know what the public is gonna think about it.
You're dead on.
Okay, motion is passed.
But I was reading today on 4 different sites that it's illegal in the state of New York to have quotas for policemen to collect for the gain of the county or the city or the state. It just, New York is one of those states that you're not allowed to do that. It is illegal. And I don't know if you've looked into that, but I'm just putting it out there.
Just curious, do you have a formula as to how many hours they have? My name's Brian Albert. Do you have a formula as to how many tickets and how many hours they're going to have to be out there?
That hasn't been determined yet.
I'm sorry?
It has not been determined yet.
Is it being studied?
I'm waiting for the information from Sheriff Parker. He's been on vacation.
Yes, last year it was a incident that happened in New York City, and because of that, it went to the state Supreme Court, and they said that it was illegal for the state of New York.
This is not a
To
quota
have-
system. This is not a quota.
Yes, it is. You've already stated that they would have to get X amount of tickets to get X amount of dollars to fill your coffers,
We
which
did not
means that
say
you
that.
need to.
We did not say that. That was me
That is
printed in
what-
the newspaper, but that is town.
But eventually, the money will come in, and if it's, let's say it's just 5 traffic tickets, well, then we're in the plus, and that can go forward to the next week. But if it's 5 traffic tickets every week, or 5 tickets of whatever, yeah, that could be. So.
Then what is it for safety reasons that you are hiring?
Safety?
Is it?
Is there any possibility that it will exacerbate the problem? That the sheriff's deputy will not pay for itself in revenue generated by tickets?
Well, it'll be on a trial period to begin with. So we'll reassess it in 6 months.
Can I make a comment? I agree with you. I think the article was very unclear about all that was said here. And when I voted on it, I made it clear that I thought it was a way of reducing speeding for people like Mr. Fanning and many other people who have complained about this problem. And when I voted the way I voted on the basis that it would be used in other ways. It would be reviewed in terms of where this person, I didn't say this the first time, but I think it needs to be reviewed in terms of how the person is being used. Is it primarily a way of getting at this issue or not? And does it pay for itself or not? And I don't think we know the answers to those questions yet. And I think the way it was reported and the way that it was discussed, I think it led to a perception that was incorrect in terms of my thinking about why I was voting in favor of it.
I've got to say I agree with John on that. If a person is speeding, they're breaking the law.
I think what people are having an issue with is the notion that this is a revenue generator and that's the primary purpose for it.
That is newspaper headlines.
Well,
How do you think they sell the paper?
I'm just saying, I think
I
it
think
would,
we've
it
got to
would behoove
move
the
on.
board to clarify that.
We've
that's all.
got business to conduct here, and I'd like to move on, but